Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book. Whoa, whoa. He has a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional shit.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So Jason Dedeker, I'm back. I'm not sick anymore, so I'm feeling better. How are you two doing?
Hallelujah. I'm
indeed.
good. I'm in Singapore now, so I went from one very hot, muggy, sweaty place to another very hot, muggy, sweaty place. And yeah, I'm just gonna live in air conditioning basically all through the winter.
It feels like fall here. It's
Well,
like quite,
only for you.
it's starting to, it's 71 degrees outside.
Oh,
Wow.
lovely.
It's starting to really feel like there's a crispness in the air, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not that warm here, actually. It's only 81 right now.
Okay. That's
80
pretty warm.
I mean, it's been, like in the upper 80s or 90s, and humidity it's still like 70% humidity, so it's still very muggy outside, but not as hot as it has been.
Yes. Well, while talking about the weather is scintillating subject matter for anyone, let's talk more about the Bible, huh?
Yeah, like
Okay.
Yeah.
what happened so far?
So far.
What happened?
I know. Yeah. Last time it was all about like the Ten Commandments retelling by Moses. I don't know. He kind of left out the golden calf stuff. I felt like it was just, he was retelling what the Ten Commandments were. And then, I don't know, we'll probably talk more about that today, about more commandments.
Right.
We learned about the hornet. Do you remember the hornet, Seth Rogen? He made an appearance.
The Green Hornet, yeah.
He made a cameo. Everyone loves when Seth Rogen pops his curly little head in.
To the Bible, yeah.
Okay, geez, because we learned about that afterwards. I know that he popped his head in, but then in the bonus episode, we talked about what it was. What is it? What was he?
Jace, you found that they think it was like a weird translation error of some kind. No one really knows.
Yeah, a lot of people literally think of it as like insects or hornets, or some consider it metaphorical for panic, and then others it's like, no, this actually just means the strength of the Holy Spirit. So, I don't know.
Wow.
There's varying opinions. But in either case...
The important thing being that we haven't had a ton of action. It's been a lot of review. Moses still hasn't died. We still haven't gone into Canaan. Not quite yet.
No, Moses is like, we got to tell a story, a very long story. Everyone sit down. It's going to be a while. Mm-hmm. So basically. Here we are. Yeah.
This is kind of a funny example of how, like, if you thought about each of these books of the Bible as being separate books, then this recap thing makes sense. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, in this book, we've got to sort of cover all that. Whereas when you put them all together in the Bible, it's like, ugh, we just covered this. Like, why are we doing this again?
Yeah.
Right. When you're fools like us and you're reading back to back, cover to cover, then it is just a lot of boring repetition. And
that's very true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why.
But if it's like, oh my God, the next book of the Bible came out. It's been a year, J.K. Rowling. My goodness. Let's wait at midnight at the bookstore to get Deuteronomy. Heck yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. It's been a year since I read the last one, so it's good for this recap. Okay. Awesome.
No, I
love that.
I really like the idea of packaging each book of the Bible as its own paperback. And like having its own cover art.
They would be so small, though. So small.
Yeah, that's fine. You put them in like a slightly larger font, like those ones you'd get in the like Scholastic catalogs as a kid.
It's like the Babysitter Club books.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love the Babysitter Club.
I know, I read so many of those.
Oh my gosh, how cool would that be to have a bookshelf that's just all the books of the Bible as individual paperbacks? I need to make this happen
I
somehow.
wouldn't be surprised.
As long as we can have kind of like the vintage Babysitter Club books where it's like this, what was it? Kind of these like paintings. The art.
Yeah, that
like
art
the kind
style.
of photorealistic art of some action scene from the book.
That was like the cover of them.
And then
It's
like a
so
little
funny.
caption, like a little teaser caption that's like, is Aaron going to be too boy crazy this summer? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Oh, he died.
And then my 10-year-old self is like,
Sad.
I want to read it.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh
if,
my gosh.
if any of our listeners have the capability of making that type of art, send.
Hang on, are you about to ask our listeners to do free labor?
No, I'm saying I will pay you for this.
Oh, goodness.
wow.
Send me an
Wow.
email.
Labor.
Let's talk. Send me an email to Jace
Info at Drunk Bible Study.
or info at Drunk Bible Study or Jace, Jase at drunkbiblestudy.com. I would love to talk about making this a reality. Maybe this is too pie in the sky. Maybe it's too ambitious,
Wow.
but I want to talk about it. So if you're someone who makes that kind of art, let me know.
Wow.
What are we drinking today?
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Well, what are we drinking on this fine evening day for you two?
Yeah, morning. It's still morning. It's not even noon yet.
Wow. Well, you got to start at some point. It's 5:00 somewhere.
It is, yes. Not here though. I'm drinking a little highball that I assembled myself rather than getting one of the pre-made ones in a can here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got some whiskey and then a little lemon soda water. It's pretty nice. And then I went down to the vending machine to get a green tea because I wanted some caffeine as well since it is still the morning. And it was all sold out in the vending machine that's right outside my apartment. And so
How
instead,
unfortunate.
I got this giant can of Pepsi.
What?
So-
What?
Ew.
You're drinking a Pepsi?
Not
Yeah.
yet,
What is
but I
this,
will be.
1997, Jason? What is
Seriously.
going on?
Right? And it's kind of a cool looking, like, vintagey can, actually. I
You're
really
starting
like
your
it.
day with a highball and
And a
a giant can of
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
I don't think
I'll
could pay me to drink a soda.
I'm gonna mix whiskey with it, so it'll be like a whiskey
Okay.
Coke, but with Pepsi.
I guess I really can't speak because
whiskey
I'm also having our favorite alcoholic soda, the Horoyois.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm having a honey lemon flavored one, so I like to believe that's also kind of morning appropriate. Feels like a nice little morning tea situation with some honey and lemon and just a little bit of booze.
Nice.
And it's even
That's
earlier
fun.
in the morning for you than it is for me, right?
Yeah, it's 10 in the morning.
Okay. It's 11 something in the morning for me. It's 10 something for you. Great.
What about you, Em?
I am drinking a lovely Chardonnay by the name of Sisters Forever.
Oh,
cute.
Sisters Forever. It's like the three
I
of
don't know.
us.
Yeah. It's an unoaked Chardonnay. What does that mean, Dedeker? Unoaked Chardonnay.
That means that they don't age it in oak barrels.
Oak barrels.
They probably age it in stainless steel vats or something like that.
Yeah, it's
okay.
fairly buttery for sure. Although it's got a hint of acidity to it. So I don't know. It's fine. I was just like, I could get a rosé, but you know what? Screw it. I'll get a white wine today, and so I did, and it's nice. Sisters forever.
How daring.
Yeah,
And
I know.
Is this your last week of Invisalign?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Today
Wow.
marks 1 week left. So then, I mean, really though, I'll probably have like another couple weeks of where I have to wear like the retainers, but I'm getting my buttons off next week. And
So,
then
okay,
I'll-
but the most important part of this conversation is by next week, can you be drinking entire bottles of red wine?
I'm not going to ever drink an entire bottle of red wine by myself unless you
Not
want to
with
see me
that
like
attitude.
completely
Jeez,
on
Emily.
the floor. But no, yeah, I mean, definitely I can have some red wine and it'll be great. I'm very excited to get these off and
Awesome.
hopefully speak a little bit more clearly to all y'all out there.
Yeah,
So,
you
yeah.
won't have that excuse when you're slurring your words because you're drinking.
That's
you won't
true.
have the Invisalign excuse anymore.
Yeah, I think I've gotten pretty good at speaking with them in. But
Yeah.
all right. Shall we do this?
Let's do this. Today, we are reading Deuteronomy 8, 9, and 10, one chapter each. As we get started, we want to remind our listeners to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time.
And with that, Deuteronomy chapter 8. All the commandment which I
Single
command...
commandment.
Single commandment. All the commandment which I command you this day shall you observe to do, that you may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers. Are you
I just love
laughing
that
about
they call
multiplying?
Yes, that they call it that they're like, it's not like procreate. It's not like, find a lover and make beautiful children. It's like multiply, we want more of you, multiply. It's just funny how
Well, that is the most
say it.
important part. We don't care if you find love or happiness. It's like, just make more of you, please. Got
Right.
more
Yeah.
lands to conquer. Chop, chop.
Yeah, exactly. Clearly they know what their priorities are.
You shall remember all the ways which Yahweh your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness, that he might humble you, to prove you, to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. He humbled you.
Ugh.
Yeah. He humbled you and allowed you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you didn't know, neither did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread only, but by everything that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh does man live.
Wait, that's an interesting sentence. Everything that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh, like that he vomited forth the earth and all of the things within it. You know what I mean?
That does seem to imply that he's just kind of coughing up bits of manna here and there.
Yeah,
This-
and anything,
this verse specifically, though, this is kind of I'm just not really necessarily like a premonition, but it does get
coughing
quoted
up the
by.
animals.
Okay,
that
we're
they're
still on the whole
eating.
coughing thing.
Yeah, sorry. Please.
Fine. No, it's
continue.
okay. It's okay. Yeah, always just like.
Oh, there's a cow.
there's a sheep.
Oh, there's a piggy.
Something like that.
I mean, we did wonder what manna was, so maybe it is kind of that phlegm you get,
Oh, like loogies, like god loogies.
God loogies.
That's what I
this is
had like for the
awful.
last frickin'
Gross.
week, except for they weren't divine at all.
Gross.
Yeah, no, that man does not live by bread alone, by bread only thing. That's interesting. It made me think, though, like usually when people say man does not live by bread alone, it means like you can't just live on bread, you need other things. Or sometimes people use that to mean like then you need also sort of spiritual nourishment or something like that. But in here, it seems like literally what he's saying is like, this was to prove to you that you can survive on these like animal droppings or whatever manna was, and not just with bread.
Ew.
Does it like
Ick.
that's what that means to me, at least in the context, right?
I will say that my childhood perception of manna was maybe it's kind of like some oyster crackers on the ground. So not the most exciting thing, but also not the most disgusting thing. And after reading the Bible this time around, manna can be nothing but disgusting. It's some kind of insect excretion or some kind of weird sappy residue or god loogies. Either way, just straight disgusting.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it seems like here he's just saying, like, that was to prove to you that you could live off even less than bread. Because I humbled you. The whole point is that that God humbled you and fed you with manna, which you didn't know. You were like, what's this stuff? And your fathers didn't know it. They were like, what's this stuff?
And Yahweh was just like, eat it. Eat it for me.
Do it.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Can we please move along?
Okay. Your clothing didn't grow old on you, neither did your foot swell these 40 years.
Wow.
That's nice. Oh, didn't realize those
No.
perks there.
That is nice.
You shall consider in your heart that as a man chastens his son, so Yahweh your God chastens you. You shall keep the commandments of Yahweh your God, to walk in his ways and to fear him. For Yahweh your God brings you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of springs and springs.
I'm sorry.
Multiple springs.
Are you stuttering? What is going on?
I'm just reading the words on the page here. A land of brooks of water, of springs and springs.
Is there a difference
flowing-
between a spring and a brook?
Is there a difference between a spring and a spring?
That is you know what? Let's check another translation here. Let's
Yeah,
see
please.
what's up with this. Springs.
7.
Do you suppose it was like different words that both translate to spring, and they were just like, I don't know, let's just use the same word. It's fine.
I thought that maybe
Say
here
springs
either
and
the
springs
writer
again.
or the translator is being poetic or lyrical
Is that so?
in
poetic?
some way.
I think there are other things that could be more poetic.
Yes, of course, there's other things that could be more poetic, but there's a certain poesy to repetition, some poetic repetition, lyrical repetition. What are you finding, Jace?
Poesy.
Let's see. Boy, which translation do I even look at first? Let's see what the message says.
Yeah.
God is about to bring you into a good land, a land with brooks and rivers, springs and lakes, streams out of the hills and through the valleys.
So someone had the good sense to be like, okay, we got to find all the words that we can find for water that doesn't stay in the same place.
Bodies of water that isn't like the sea.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we got here? For the Lord thy God bringeth thee into a good land, a londa of rivers of water, of fountains and of springs, and
Ooh.
of
What's a fountain? A fountain.
fountains.
Fountain.
Fountains. Foutens. Of fountains and of springs that spring out both in valleys and hillies.
Aw,
How cute, a hilly.
A
I love
hilly.
a good hilly.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if it's like, it seems like a lot of them are translating it as ponds or something, or lakes, in addition to just springs.
Literally any kind of water you can think
just
of,
some
we'll
water.
throw it in
You know,
here.
Yeah, that's the
Water.
important part, is water.
Well,
A land of wheat and barley, and vines and fig trees and pomegranates. A land of olive trees and honey. A land in which you shall eat bread without scarceness.
You won't have to eat my weird ground loogies.
Yeah. You shall eat bread without scarceness. You shall not lack anything in it. A land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you may dig copper. You shall eat
Whoa.
and be full, and you shall bless Yahweh your God for the good land which he has given you. Beware, lest you forget Yahweh your God, in not keeping his commandments and his ordinances and his statutes, which I command you this day, lest when you have eaten and are full and have built goodly houses and lived therein, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, then your heart be lifted up, and you forget Yahweh your God, who brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
How
he
just-
gonna kill you.
Okay, yes, we can all see where this is headed. However, my question is, how could you forget any of this?
I know. He doesn't
how
help. He doesn't like
He
make you forget in any way.
no, he does
He
not.
reminds you over and over again that you
Yes.
need to frickin' remember who he is.
He will break every bone in your body so that you remember.
Ooh.
Yikes. Yeah. Okay. Who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, in which were fiery serpents, gross, and scorpions, and thirsty ground where was no water, who brought you forth water out of the rock of flint, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers didn't know, that he might humble you. Yeah, again, we're back to this. That he might prove you and to do you good at your latter end.
Like at your
Okay.
I want to start using your latter end as a euphemism for someone's butt.
that's the only thing that I could think of, like your derriere,
Uh-huh.
the business end.
Yeah.
Wow.
To do you good at your latter end, and lest you say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand has gotten me this wealth. But you shall remember Yahweh your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant which he swore to your fathers, as at this day. It shall be, if you shall forget Yahweh your God, and walk after other gods, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that you shall surely perish.
Yeah.
As the nations that Yahweh makes to perish before you, so shall you perish, because you wouldn't listen to the voice of Yahweh your God.
Okay.
All right, so we just
this
kind
is a
of
lot of
yeah,
no,
same message
it's
as
just
before.
yeah, but a lot of this is a lot of like, well, you know, we're going to talk to you about the ways in which you're going to die or do really poorly if you don't mind yourselves,
Yeah.
like mind your manners, mind your Yahweh.
Yeah, this
It's
one's
fascinating.
Mind your Yahweh. I like that. This is a good one, though, that they actually did cover at least some of why the land is so good and why it's worth keeping the covenants, whereas before it was kind of like, using the stick, and now it was using the carrot and then the stick and then the stick. Wait, stick and then the carrot and then the stick. You get my metaphor, right?
Yeah, well, this is the
sure.
first time that we've been tempted by precious metals. First time any precious metals have been thrown
Ooh,
into
yeah,
the mix,
that's
where they're like,
good point.
iron and copper and these things that are very useful for you for making even better weapons and plows and, I don't know, golden shovels or whatever it is that you Israelites like to make these
Golden
days.
shovels.
All I could think of was like Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley. So
That's funny because I was thinking about
That's
Minecraft
funny.
because I was just playing some Minecraft recently, and
Right.
similar thing of like building your golden shovels or your steel shovels or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 9. Hear, Israel, you are to pass over the Jordan this day. Oh, this day. It's going to happen on this day.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
This same day.
Whoa.
I mean, I don't know if this same day means in 6 chapters or
This
by the end
is
of
the
the book.
that's
day.
true, but
This is the
This
day
is the
that the
day
Lord has
Lord
made.
has made. That the Lord has made.
wait, is it about this?
No.
It's definitely not. No,
What
this
is it about?
That's the song that when you were going, well, okay, for me anyway, when you were going into chapel on a Friday morning at your Christian school, that's what they kind of start you out with.
morning?
That's what they start you out with to get the energy up right away,
How
get
many
everybody
freaking
clapping.
days were you going to chapel?
Chapel was only Friday morning, and that was just the church service associated with the Christian school.
But you
was a
also had
Friday
to go
morning.
on Sunday?
And then you also had to go on Sunday. Yeah, Fridays you also had to dress up the same way that you would on Sunday.
Oh, really? You dressed up for Friday chapel? Okay.
Well, I was at a Christian school with a very strict dress code, and yeah, on Fridays you
see.
had to dress much nicer.
Anyway,
And then
sorry
like a
for that
little
little musical
cardigan.
break. Yeah.
Okay. You are to pass over the Jordan this day to go in to dispossess nations greater and mightier than yourself, cities great and fortified up to the sky,
Whoa.
a people great and tall, the sons of the Anakim
Yep.
Skywalker, whom you know, and of whom you have heard say, who can stand before the sons of Enoch?
Yeah.
Jeez,
Oof.
these...
Wait, why do you
These-
say Enoch and then Anakim?
It probably has to do with declension of the word and linguistics and things like that.
Yeah.
You don't think it's Anak?
Oh, you just mean the pronunciation? Yeah, it might be.
Correct.
I don't know. I do what I want. Know therefore this day
Apparently.
that Yahweh your God is he who goes over before you as a devouring fire. He will destroy them and he will bring them down before you. So you shall drive them out and make them to perish quickly as Yahweh has spoken to you. Don't speak in your heart after that Yahweh your God has thrust them out from before you, saying, for my righteousness Yahweh has brought me in to possess this land. Whereas for the wickedness of these nations, Yahweh does drive them out from before you.
See, why are these nations wicked? Because they don't believe in Yahweh?
No, dear Emily. No.
He's saying,
What?
don't say that.
Yeah, they're saying don't even
oh.
think that. Don't even think that we're conquering these people because we're good and they're bad and they're wicked. Not for your righteousness or for the uprightness of your heart do you go in to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations, Yahweh your God does drive them out from before you.
Well, see?
Yeah, you're right.
See?
It does come back
See?
around again.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, I think I'm reading what I'm reading.
Okay, so then maybe he's actually saying, don't think it's because you're so dang good and righteous. It's because these other people are so dang bad and awful and evil.
There you go.
Okay, fine. Yes, okay, that he may establish the word which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Know therefore that Yahweh your God doesn't give you this good land to possess it for your righteousness, for you are a stiff-necked people.
Whoa. Like, do
Amen.
they all have a, what is that, like, the spinal meningitis? Do they all have meningitis?
Gosh.
Jeez, Emily.
Wow.
What?
I mean, would they have like...
Maybe it's viral, not bacterial, okay?
Okay, maybe it is. But yes, they're stiff-necked people. They can't turn their heads. They're like Batman.
Can Batman not turn his head either?
He just has a really, like, stiff suit.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was something that...
Batman.
Yeah, that apparently has been a complaint of the actors who've played Batman since Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton hated his suit. He thought it was so stupid.
Well, they all hate it because
I thought he looked pretty good in it. He looked pretty good in it.
He did, yeah. But like the rubber comes up around the neck onto the mask, so Batman can't turn his head. And that was always like the thing that made it really confining to be in it. So Batman has to like turn his whole body and can't just turn his head. But then in the like Christian Bale Batmans, they make a reference to that where they like design the bat suit. Maybe it was in the second Christian
so
Bale
that he
one.
can turn his head.
Well,
yeah,
and
in Dark Knight.
Morgan Freeman has the line where he's like, "Oh, and we made some improvements to this one, so you can turn your head now." Like, make some like little offhand joke referencing that fact.
That's cute.
It's pretty cool.
Do you know Robert Pattinson is going to be Batman?
What?
I don't want to talk about Batman gossip.
I
don't want to talk about Batman gossip. I don't want to talk about Batman gossip, especially if it involves our Pats. I'm sorry.
Just like, what? Okay, anyways.
I'm going to go back to the
next
Bible.
Batman.
Right. Emily and I will talk about
From
it later.
Robert to
Just
Bateman.
Do it.
Okay,
Do it on your own time.
fine, go.
Know,
Go.
therefore, that Yahweh your God doesn't give you this good
Or
land
Edward,
to possess
Jesus,
it for your...
Edward.
God bless it, Emily. Go make your own Batman gossip podcast.
It's time for some Pepsi.
Hey, know therefore that Yahweh your God doesn't give you this good land to possess it for your righteousness, for you are a Batman-necked people. Remember, don't forget how you provoked Yahweh your God to wrath in the wilderness. From the day that you went forth out of the land of Egypt until you came to this place, you have been rebellious against Yahweh. Also,
Dang.
in Horeb, you provoked Yahweh to wrath, and Yahweh was angry with you to destroy you.
Wait, was that the two were bad and good were many? 10? 2 were bad and 2 were good and 10 were bad. E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah. It was 10 were bad and 2 were good, and everyone listened to the bad people, and so God wanted to kill him. That was the song.
The
Dedeker
evolution
knows
of
it.
this song, I just...
Does it have hand gestures? That's all that I want to know.
Of course it has hand gestures. What do you think? When I was gone up onto the mountain to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which Yahweh made with you, then I stayed on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water.
Is this Moses talking?
It's Moses
Yes.
talking. And that's definitely, we did not get a mention of that in the original version of this story. I think it's kind of gotten a little conflated.
Yeah, I'm pretty
honestly.
sure Moses has like made the story of him being up on the mountain like way bigger than it actually is. He's like, "Oh, I toiled. It was awful. I made this amazing, beautiful discovery of the 10 Commandments, and I didn't eat it all. Oh."
But are we
That happened.
to assume then that meant he was eating just God loogies then?
Ew.
If he didn't have bread or water?
Yuck.
Because he was up there with Yahweh, so...
You know, maybe God
from the
loogies
source.
taste amazing.
When they're fresh from the Yahweh.
Okay. Oh,
Fresh from Yahweh's mouth.
all right. Let's move on.
Yahweh delivered to me the 2 tables of stone written with the finger of God, and on them was written, according to all the words which Yahweh spoke with you on the mountain out of... Oh, no.
What is your problem?
I resized my window and I lost my place. Okay, here we go. Which spoke
11,
with you on the
right
mountain
before 11.
out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. It came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that Yahweh gave me the 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. Yahweh said to me, "Arise, get you down quickly from hence, for your..."
It's freaking in an uppercase though, so I was like, who's this guy's name? Eris? Arise.
My goodness.
What? I'm sorry. It was uppercase, so I'm like, why is this
I
a
will
person's
say,
name?
This translation
You
of the
said
Bible...
to me, Eris, get down.
It's definitely kind of gaslighting your sense of what grammar and punctuation is.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's
yeah,
like, no,
what a lot of
like
things
quotation
are.
marks? No, that's not a thing. No, who uses quotation marks? What? Like, why would you expect quotation marks? No one wants quotation marks. And you're like, oh, yeah,
But then they're
I
in
guess...
there once in a while.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that is extra
Okay.
confusing when they are.
Yahweh said to me, "Arise, get you down quickly from hence, for your people whom you have brought forth out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image." All right, so we do.
like a calf.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
He is. He is telling that part of the story.
Whoa.
Okay. Can't let them
Whoa.
forget that either.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad because I would have been really not happy with Moses if he was like, we're just going to gloss over that one. Because it's important. It's important that they
It is
remember
important.
what they did.
I wonder if Aaron's going to get thrown under the bus or it's just kind of get
He's
glossed over.
dead.
I wonder, will this include him like lying about it? Just like, oh, I don't know, we threw it in the fire and this just happened.
Furthermore, Yahweh spoke to me, saying, I've seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people, Batman-necked people. Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under the sky, and I will make of you a nation mightier and greater than they.
Dang.
So
Oof.
I turned and came down from the mountain, and the mountain was burning with fire, and the 2 tables of the covenant were in my 2 hands.
I
My
feel like,
only 2
like,
hands.
How freaking heavy were these 2 tables?
Yeah.
They're like when you look at the 10 Commandments, like they're pretty heavy. They're like made out of freaking stone. That's a lot there, you know?
I assume Moses must have had just amazing grip strength.
Yeah, he must have been like Gun City.
I looked, and behold, you had sinned against Yahweh your God. You had made you a molten calf.
Oh, no.
You had turned aside quickly out of the way which Yahweh had commanded you. I took hold of the 2 tables and cast them out of my 2 hands and broke them before your eyes.
Meaning like he threw them at the people onto the ground.
Well, the
I just
part
love
that
that
he's
he's like, I
emphasizing is that
cast
they
them
came
out.
out of his hands. So
Yeah.
I fell down before Yahweh.
Onto
as
my
at
face.
As at the first 40 days and 40 nights, I did neither eat bread nor drink water because
What?
of all your sin which you sinned in
Okay.
doing that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh to provoke him to anger.
So he's saying that he didn't eat for 80 days? I call
Yeah,
bullshit.
is this a new period of fasting for their sins, or is he just reiterating how much he had to suffer? How it was like, I fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and then this is what I come home to. You're having a party with a calf made of gold?
Well, as at the first. Yeah, what does that mean?
Oh, yeah. Where he's
See
like,
what
yeah,
I
just
mean?
like the
As
first
at,
time.
Yeah,
Right.
just like the first time, I
Yeah,
also
so he's doing it again.
went back. Yeah, is he doing it again? Is
Yeah.
that what the message says, Jace?
Oh gosh, we could check here. What's this verse number?
18.
Like, it's become a little bit of a big fish story, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think Moses is, exaggerating a bit. I really do, but
But yeah, he's skipping
Moses,
over.
so I guess he can.
He did just skip
By the
over
way-
Aaron's excuses and stuff about how this happened.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to me that that Aaron kind of doesn't happen in the story at all, and also it's funny to me that Moses has a voice now that Aaron's dead.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He's like, I'm going to talk about these things, and I'm going to tell you all about them and all that I went through and how awful it was for me because now Aaron's gone, so I have to be the one to talk. It's
Yeah.
funny. Okay, tell me, what does 18 in the message say, Jace?
Well, okay, the message is sort of interesting. So message says, Then I prostrated myself before God, just as I had at the beginning of the 40 days and nights. I ate no food, I drank no water. I did this because of you, all your sins, sinning against God, doing what is evil, yada, yada, yada. So here it doesn't clarify that it was another 40 days. more
Another
just,
40 days. Interesting.
But if I look at which one... Yeah, the New International Reader's Version is much more clear. It says, Then once again I fell down flat in front of the Lord with my face toward the ground. I lay there for 40
Wow.
days and 40 nights.
Moses.
What?
I didn't eat any
Moses,
food.
That's a little extra, okay? It's a little extra.
I didn't eat any food or drink any water. You had committed a terrible sin.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But, you can call. You're a little awkward right now. You're really milking that for all it's worth. Calm down, Moses.
Yeah, I mean, the NIV also says that I fell prostrate before the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights. Or once again, I fell prostrate before the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights. I ate no bread and
sorry.
drank no water. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he added this in at the end.
I don't remember this
we heard
happening.
no
Yeah.
mention of this. Yeah. He's
Okay.
like, you all weren't there, but I lay there for 40 days and 40 nights doing nothing but laying there. I took an extended nap. I was hibernating.
Got scorpions all up
happened.
in my beard. I let it happen. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure with which Yahweh
Wow.
was angry against you to destroy you. But Yahweh listened to me that time also. Yahweh
Because
was very...
Actually, Yahweh's my little bitch.
Ooh, those are... Emily.
Content warning on this episode. Language.
Sorry. Oh,
That's
I can,
quite a claim. Quite a claim.
I can take that back.
Yahweh was very angry with Aaron to destroy him.
Oh,
and I prayed
okay.
for Aaron also at the same time. Okay, so we get a proper mention
We get
that
a little Aaron mention.
Yeah.
was also a dum-dum here too. I took your sin, the calf which you had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, grinding it very small
Whoa.
until it was as fine as dust.
That's
and I cast
probably
the
hard to
dust of
do.
it into the brook that descended out of the mountain. I just love this image of Moses with his little booties on, just like, take
It's like The
dust, throw
Sims.
it into the water.
Blah-na-na. Ugh, par. It's like when there's bugs and they stamp on them.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
stamping on it.
Blah, nah, nah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he took this gold dust and threw it in the river. Cool.
Yeah, he was like, I do this with your gold dust.
This is what I think of your freaking cow.
Yeah.
At Taberah and at Massa and at Kibroth Hatava, you provoked Yahweh to wrath. When
What else
Yahweh
is new?
sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, go up and possess the land which I have given you, then you rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh your God, and you didn't listen to him, nor
Believe
listen to
him.
his voice.
You didn't believe him.
Oh, you didn't believe him, nor listen to his voice. You have been rebellious against Yahweh from the day that I knew you.
Wow. Dang.
This is okay. Now it's really turned into Moses finally getting to vent his frustrations
You're right.
after
Yeah,
40
I'm sorry.
years.
Moses is like really just extrapolating out like, okay, I did all these things too.
I
Like,
think
look at how
he
amazing
knows.
I
He's like,
am.
okay, I'm about to die. I'm going to go out with a bang. I'm going to exaggerate. I'm going to complain. I don't care anymore. Fact check me once I'm in the grave, you mofos. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I fell down before Yahweh the 40 days and 40 nights that I fell down because Yahweh had said he would destroy you. I prayed to Yahweh and said, Lord Yahweh, don't destroy your people and your inheritance.
Are
that
you Edward Neely? What is it? Bradley
Neely?
Neely?
No, it wasn't intending that, but I said, Lord Yahweh, don't destroy your people and your inheritance that you have redeemed through your greatness, that you have brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember your servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Don't look to the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land whence you brought us out say, because Yahweh was not able to bring them into the land which he promised to them, and because he hated them, he has brought them
Whoa.
out to kill them in the wilderness.
Yeah.
That did kind of
they
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet they are your people and your inheritance, which you brought out by your great power and by your outstretched arm. Oof.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a lot that happened.
You know, I kind of
Dang.
like it. I kind of like this new, sassier Moses, you know?
I love it. Getting it all off
I
his
mean,
chest.
he's actually speaking to people as opposed to like just not at all, like not even remotely talking to anyone. It is kind of funny.
or only being the vessel of just repeating, parroting back what Yahweh has said to him.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Like for all of Exodus and all of Numbers, it was like, and then Moses said, Yahweh said this, and then it's all a quote from Yahweh. But here it's
That's
actually
true.
like Moses' voice saying
Yeah.
things. That's cool.
He's like, you know what, Yahweh? Just pipe down for a minute. It's Moses' time to talk. And then he goes on his whole like thing.
yeah.
All right. Okay, are we ready for this?
Yes.
Deuters 10.
Deuters 10.
Let's do it. Okay. At that time, Yahweh said to me, hew you 2 tables of stone, like the first, and come up to me onto the mountain and make an ark of wood. What?
Yeah, an ark of wood. Like Ark of the Covenant. Not like an ark of like Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
still
like
an Ark of the Covenant. He's just going to make that?
Yeah. What do you mean? Why are you surprised? When else would he have made it? Who else would have made it?
Did he make it? I thought that other people made it.
I mean,
and is he
you know,
making another one?
in the
Yes,
same
I'm
way that like a
surprised.
president of a company makes the products that the company makes.
No, I'm pretty sure he's telling Moses to do it right now.
But didn't we get really long, elaborate instructions for how it was supposed to be made?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be handed off to other people.
Yeah.
Unless this is just a temporary, a provisional ark, if you will.
Oh yeah,
well,
that might be possible. Yeah.
So, okay, here we go. I will write on the tables the words that were on the first tables which you broke, Moses. You remember that? Because I do. And you shall put them in the ark.
Because you can't be trusted to hold them in your hands this time. So we're going to make a little
You're going to
case.
throw them and they'll break. And he'll be like, really, Moses? Jeez. Okay. So I made an ark of acacia wood and hewed 2 tablets of stone like the first and went up onto the mountain having the 2 tables in my hand. In my one hand, I grabbed both of these big old tables. That's how badass I am. He wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments which Yahweh spoke to you on the mountain out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly, and Yahweh gave them to me. I turned and came down from the mountain. I just imagine Moses running up and down and up and down and up and down this mountain.
It seems like he is. I mean, well, maybe
Yeah.
he was up there 40 days, but then running down.
But then he ran down and then he flopped on the ground for 40 days at the foot of the mountain and then he ran back up there.
Oh, intermittent fasting and some interval training. It's really not that ridiculous.
Yeah, that new
I don't know if
craze.
40 days is considered intermittent fasting, Dedeker, but okay.
It's extreme intermittent fasting and interval training.
I see.
Extreme. Like it's the extreme of you intermittent fast for 40 days and 40 nights. And then you do an interval of running all the way up a mountain.
Yeah, perfect.
And then you make an Ark of the Covenant and then make a big old table
Yes.
of commandments and then
Yes.
run back down and then you get to eat.
I hope
Yay.
he was having some snacks while he was building this Ark of
I
the
don't
Covenant
know.
to run up
I don't
there.
know. Yeah, I hope so too, but who knows? Knowing
No,
Yahweh
he's got to get
probably
into
didn't.
ketosis. The only way you can get properly
Oh,
into
he's
extreme
into
ketosis
autophagy
is
at this point, okay?
Wow.
Major autophagy. His cells
Uh-huh.
are regenerating. It's good, okay?
Welcome
All
to the
right.
Body by Moses podcast, the podcast where we help you get a body just like Moses.
Oh, man. Well, he's like 115 at this point, so I don't know if I
And
want
in the
that,
best
but
shape
yeah.
of his life.
Right?
Yeah, I guess he is. Well, no, he's recounting this, so this already happened. Whatever.
Oh,
he
he's
could
talking about
be
when he
looking
was-
like whatever.
Yes, when he was in the best shape of his life.
I think
Let's reminisce.
he was only like 60 or something when this was happening. So,
Wow, how impressive.
back in like
All right.
sprinting up and down mountain shape.
Yeah, when you're 60, sure. So, okay, he wrote on the tables, meaning God, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments, which Yahweh spoke to you on the mountain out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly, and Yahweh gave them to me. I turned and came down from the mountain and put the tables in the ark which I had made, and there they are as Yahweh commanded me. The children of Israel journeyed from Beeroth, Benad, Jachin.
Is this the
don't know.
narrator? The narrator just
I
popped
don't know.
in.
It's
This is
in
in parentheses. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think so,
Beeroth,
yeah.
Bene, Jachin, and Mosra. There Aaron died, and there he was buried, and Eleazar his son ministered in the priest's office in his place. From there they journeyed to Gudgoda, and from Gudgoda to Jotbatheth. I have a lisp when I say that. A land of brooks of water. And at that time, Yahweh set apart the tribe of Levi to bear the Ark of the Covenant. Really? At that time? They hadn't already, made this a thing? Was it then?
Yeah, this was around that time, right? Because after they got
Dang.
the
I'm
Ten
sorry,
Commandments.
this happened so long ago. This
Yeah.
was back in Exodus. We have had a lot happen since then.
Seriously.
Okay. So at that time, Yahweh set apart the tribe of Levi to bear the Ark of the Covenant to Yahweh, to stand before Yahweh to minister him. Not behind, but before Yahweh to minister him, and to bless in his name to this day. Therefore, Levi has no portion nor inheritance with his brothers. Yahweh is his inheritance, according to Yahweh, as your God spoke to him. Okay.
That
Okay.
was so bizarre.
End
Just
parentheses.
someone clearly, made one of those big like V-shaped things and like wrote in the margins of the manuscript of like, this is what was happening at this time. And then like, this is, when the Levites became a thing. And just in case you forgot who the Levites were, these are who they are. And this is how they're going. Okay, bye.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess it's nice for them, for us, for all y'all out there to know, if you forgot who the Levites are, this is who they are.
Remember, again,
They
it's
just told us.
this is a standalone paperback, right? So
There you
you
go.
gotta
Yeah.
kind of cover.
You know
these
what?
things.
J.K. Rowling abandoned that idea, though, starting in book 4. She was like, book 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to give you a backstory. Book 4, you better already know what the hell's happening.
I have found that to be, when I'm reading a series of books, I'm often, when they do that, like recapping what happened last time, I'm always like, come
You're like,
on, I know. This is the second book. I know. Anyway.
I just read it. I've been waiting for this one to come out.
Seriously.
I just read it. Okay. Yeah, I know. But, it's nice for a time. Okay. I stayed on the mountain as at the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And Yahweh listened to me that time also. Yahweh would not destroy you. Yahweh said to me, arise. But again, with a capital A. I don't know why he decides to do that. So arise, take your journey before the people, and they shall go in and possess the land, which I swore to their fathers to give them. Now, Israel, what does Yahweh your God require of you but to fear Yahweh your God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes, which I command you to this day for good.
For your good.
That's funny. It's like, for
Was
your
that
good?
Was that a rhetorical question? Yeah, it was
Well,
a
it's-
rhetorical question because, like, what does he want from you other than?
But other than like every single
extremely-
thing of your entire
Yes.
mind, body, and soul, I don't know.
That's all.
Like, not a big deal,
It's
right?
for your own good. So, like, not
Yeah.
a big deal at all.
So
yeah.
like, get over it, right?
Maybe you should all calm down and just do it.
Exactly. Okay. Behold, to Yahweh your God belongs heaven and the heaven of heavens, the earth and all that is therein. Okay. Only Yahweh had a delight in your fathers to love them, and he chose their seed. Ugh, I hate it when they say their seed. Ugh. I'm sorry. I don't like it at all. Their seed after them, even you above all peoples, as at this day. Oh gosh. Okay. Circumcise, therefore, the foreskin of your heart. Jace, as a man, what do you think about this line?
I mean, I think the beauty of this line is that it's not gender specific, because we all have foreskin on our hearts, don't we?
Yeah, we got to
do
get rid
we?
of it. Yes.
Do we?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever thought of my heart as having foreskin, quite honestly.
This okay, I'm actually very concerned now for all of the people who take the Bible literally, that they're going to start performing some sort of open heart surgery on each other, on their, like, that concerns me a little bit. So anytime, okay, if you ever meet someone who tells you to take the Bible literally, just
I'm gonna be
whip
like,
out
listen.
this Deuteronomy 10.
And be like, you know what? Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not.
How about we
They'll
don't-
probably say, like, it's metaphorical. And I'm like, the whole dang thing is metaphorical, though. Right? Am I right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you, Em.
Yeah, but anyways, so we're gonna circumcise, therefore, the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked like Bateman.
Yes.
Cool. That's That was a really weird sentence. I don't know what to say about that.
The circumcised
For Yahweh-
therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty good standalone verse, I gotta say.
Can we?
Yeah, I mean,
all the
I
Bible
want,
verses.
okay, will you please give me another option here?
I'm willing to bet circumcise is going to be a consistent word through all of the translations.
I got my big damn book right here. I'm going to look it up too.
Yeah. You look it up there. I'll
If
look
there's
up the
anything that they
translation
love,
here.
it is metaphorical circumcisions or real circumcisions.
Yeah, any
yeah.
kind of it, really. Yeah.
I think that circumcise is going to be there regardless of the translation. That's my prediction.
Okay, let me see if I can find. Oh, no. Some do not use the word circumcision.
Oh,
Really?
Oh yeah,
Really?
like for example, the Message
16.
Bible says, "So cut away the thick calluses from your heart and stop being so willfully hard-headed." You
Oh,
jerks.
no. Wow. Well, no, the NIV does say, circumcise your hearts therefore and do not be stiff-necked any longer. Okay.
I just don't like that implies that the foreskin is a callus to be.
Yeah, that is
Cut
a little
away.
concerning, isn't it?
Dedeker. Yeah.
I mean,
I know a lot of people who are upset that they were circumcised.
Sure. Yeah. Can I pitch to you something? What
You
if
may.
so Drunk Bible Study to this point has never made any merch. What if we made pins or t-shirts that just say circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked?
I mean, I like that. I worry about it causing some kind of trouble. What kind of trouble? I don't know. I don't even want to go there. I just imagine it causing some kind of trouble with somebody.
Yeah, I honestly like I'm not advocating for this line. I'm not advocating for it, so I don't know if I'd want a pin of it, quite frankly. I'd want it to be like, God says this. Maybe use it as a metaphor.
What about a tattoo, if not a pin?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tattoo. I don't have a single tattoo. None of us have a single tattoo. I'm not going to tattoo this. This would not be my first and only
Well,
tattoo.
this is how we doubled our way all the way to the tattoo parlor.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Okay, let's do be clear though. This is not Yahweh speaking. This is Moses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Just-
Moses is a bit of a poet, apparently.
Yeah, he is.
He likes to think of himself as such.
like foreskin poetry.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious, Jason. Okay, we're going to move on to 17. We're almost there. For Yahweh your God, he is a God of gods, Lord of lords, the great God, the mighty, and the awesome. Awesome. Who doesn't regard persons nor takes reward.
I don't know what doesn't
does-
regard persons means. Doesn't
I don't know either. Do
I
you
think it
know
means
what
he degaffs.
what?
What's a DGAF?
DGAF. I can't say the F word on this podcast. He doesn't give an F. He degaffs.
Oh, wow, Dedeker, wow. Okay.
Let's see.
At least
doesn't
when I hear doesn't regard persons, that's what I think.
doesn't regard persons seems to mean doesn't play favorites, shows no partiality.
Okay.
I would
Yeah,
not have
yeah,
guessed
this
that,
is-
but that makes sense.
Yeah, for the Lord your God is God of gods, the Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribes.
Oh,
Oh, very
Is what-
specific.
Niv says. Good old Niv.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. He does execute justice for the fatherless and widow,
Oh,
and loves the sojourner.
Can we drink to the fatherless and the widow? I feel like it's been a while
I
since
would
we.
if I had any more alcohol, but I don't.
Oh,
That's been
boy.
at least 3 books since The Fatherless and the Widow.
Right?
Yeah,
Mm.
I'll have some water.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. Good memories. Good memories there.
So he loves the sojourner in giving him food and clothing. Love you, therefore, the sojourner, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. You shall fear Yahweh your God. Him shall you serve, and to him you shall cleave. And by his name shall you swear. He is your praise, he is your God, who has done for you these great and awesome things, which your eyes have seen. Your fathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons. Now Yahweh your God has made you as the stars of the sky for multitude.
That's the smallest group of persons we've read about in this entire book.
70?
So far.
Yeah, what? How is
70?
that even possible?
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been way back in, I guess, in between Genesis and Exodus.
I think way back when Joseph was a boy who went to Egypt and then moved his whole family to Egypt. I think that's what he's referring to.
I guess, yeah, that must be. Yeah, that must be the 70 persons. I also like this. He's emphasizing, like, who's done these great and awesome things which your eyes have seen. But actually, they didn't see any of these things because we've already clarified that everyone who saw these things has died and these were their children. So there's this weird, like, come on. Come on.
But dude, people related to you saw this.
Yeah.
The eyes of your fathers saw this.
The eyes of the fathers.
They saw it, for sure.
Well, Moses is just really on a roll here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes with this next time.
He's spent several books not talking. I feel like this is going to go on for a lot longer. He's got to get it all out.
What if
got a vent?
What if that's what
process.
Deuteronomy is? What if the whole thing is just this one? It like all takes
Big
place
old
over the
Moses.
course of one day before they invade Canaan. That it's all just one big inspirational speech from Moses.
Well, I think it started out
that
as an
would be
inspirational
funny.
speech and then ended up in becoming a rant and then like some reminders and then like some kind of getting off topic and getting confused about what he was talking about in the first place and then coming back to ranting again. And
But
I
then
think that the Israelites have been standing there like getting kind of hot and itchy in the sun,
like,
just like, oh gosh, this is why we didn't have Moses speak in the first place.
Yeah, can we please shut him up?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
Well, I'm excited to keep going with this next week and see if do we descend into madness with Moses here, or are we going to start going in
How
a different
exciting.
direction?
Yeah, can't wait to see what Moses is up to next week. I do wonder if he's just going to continue on this long rant, if it's going to be book wide, if it's just going to be like forever. I don't know. Maybe like he just talks until he dies and then eventually he keels over and then he dies and that's the end of Moses. Like, I'm really interested to see. So anyways, we'll find out next week and hope you join us then. Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Dedeker Winston, Jace Lindgren, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from the album Home of the. The theme song for the book of Deuteronomy is Truth in the Stones by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.